Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mary Mamlaka and I talk about faith, marriage and lifestyle. Thank you for joining and thank you so much for your love and support always. If you're new here, you are welcome and feel at home. In this video, I'm going to talk on the topic 5 things to know before marriage. And let me say that it is good to desire marriage, but it's very bad to be desperate for marriage. A good marriage is largely dependent on whom you marry. So if the rest of your life is going to be successful, full of joy or pain, it is all dependent on whom to marry. So the first thing that I believe you need to know before marriage is God is not only the originator of marriage, but also its sustainer. There is no guarantee that your marriage will work out if it is not centered on God. It is what God upholds that stays together. And that is what he has told us in his word in Hebrews 1:3. He upholds everything by his word. So this should tell you that as a believer, marrying an unbeliever is completely out of question. You have no business proposing to an unbeliever or agreeing to marry one. If you are an unbeliever, okay, you can go on and marry your fellow unbeliever. But if you are a believer, it is no to marry or to agree to marry an unbeliever. And the second thing I believe you need to know before marriage is your spouse is a key success factor in your life. Therefore, choosing who to marry is a deliberate decision. You must know who you are and where you are going in life before choosing who to marry. Don't say the guy is handsome or tall. Richness should not be the reason to marry anyone, or those physical handsomeness or tallness should not be the main reason why you should marry. The other thing is, don't marry for richness. A guy can get a house or a car from his father, but if he cannot generate wealth, it is a waste. So I believe that you will not just marry anyhow. You will think and you discover who you are first before getting married or marrying anyone. And the other thing I believe you need to know is waiting on God for a life partner or a spouse. It is not easy. But I want you to understand that it is worthy waiting on God and experience godly dating that will lead to a successful, healthy marriage than rushing into an unhealthy relationship. You should always understand that when waiting on God, you are waiting, on a healthy relationship, and waiting on the best relationship that is for you. If God has promised you marriage, it will definitely, and he will definitely bring it to pass, according to his own time. God does not bless us according to our time, but he blesses us according to his time. So I believe that as you are waiting on God for a spouse, you'll be patient enough to wait on God. And at the end, you'll be grateful you waited on God. And the fourth thing that I believe you need to know before marriage is you must get informed before you get involved. Don't get involved get involved with anyone before you get informed about relationships and marriage. Information must come first before involvement, or else you are heading for a failure or even destruction. If you want a marriage that is built to last, then you must get all information possible on how to build one. You must look and search for the information that that talks about a successful marriage or successful relationship. Don't just enter any relationship without even knowing what it takes to have a successful dating relationship or a successful marriage. This is your life and you are building a foundation. And the foundation of any building determines the height of that building. So don't just do things for the sake of doing them. You must look for the information that as much as possible, information on relationships and on successful marriage. I believe God will help you in that area. And the fifth thing I believe you need to know before marriage is commitment is a major issue in marriage. Therefore, you must, however, take note of the fact that if someone cannot commit himself or herself to God, then there is no way that same person can be committed to you. Even you as an individual also take time to ask yourself, where is God in your life? Before even thinking of who to marry or who to get married to, you must think, you must work on a relationship with God. If you are committed to God, if you are in love with God, it will be easy for you to fall in love with another person. So if you don't love God whom you don't see, how are you going to love God, to love the person that you see? So the first thing is, the thing that my emphasis is, before you fall in love with somebody, fall in love with God first. And it will help the love of God will help you to love someone, because in marriage, it is, just as an example, you need to have that spirit of unforgiveness. But if you don't, and it is only the love of God will help you to forgive someone. So if you love God, it will help you to even if anyone or your spouse does something wrong, it will help you to forgive him and or her and let it go. So I believe the things that I've shared here in this video, you have gotten something from it. And let me say, I thank you for waiting to this point. If you have gotten I've gotten something in this video, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And if you are new here, you have not subscribed, kindly just click on the red button below the video written subscribe, and don't forget to click on that bell beside there, so that every time I upload a new video, you'll be among those that will be notified. And if there is something that you need me to know, kindly just don't forget to comment in the comment box. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for your love and support always. See you in my next video. Bye.